All right. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? Happy Tuesday. It's October 14th. We're taking a look at NASDAQ. We've got some pretty big overnight weakness. That's like a 500-point move. What happened here was following yesterday's bounce, where the gap up on Sunday that showed continuation pretty much for the duration of yesterday's regular session. We have the market closure at the open. Another little bit of a rally there, and then price tests that 25K key pivot right through here. That was a pivot we mentioned in the weekly candle and the weekly newsletter that we send out on Sunday evening. So we talked about that 25K pivot right there. You can see the importance of this level over the past couple of weeks right through there. Major pivot. Sellers step in at that point and pretty much 500 points of selling there to undercut the Sunday night open, the weekly open level right through there, and then buyers are right back in it up into 655. What I'm going to be looking at for this morning is pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I want to see how price responds to this area right through here, 655. We do have a 2-hour hammer that has most recently closed. I want to see if buyers can show any continuation for that hammer following what was a sweep and undercut of the weekly open there of the Sunday night open. And if they are successful, if buyers are successful with action above 655, I'll be looking for this area, which is 24,800, and then potentially up into 24,900. Potentially. We'll see how much volatility we actually get today. Now, if 655 fails, this area fails, if we see sellers kind of continue to defend that point, I want to watch for how price responds to the overnight low, which as of right now is going to be 504, it looks like. Let's take a look. 502.5. 502.5. So I want to watch how price responds down there. 502.5. And then potentially down into 450. Down into 450 downside level of interest. You can see the support 450. Now, if 450 fails, more than likely we're going to see that complete gap fill. That's what I would be looking for. Complete gap fill down into Friday's low. So that's the game plan for this morning. Backdrop remains neutral, bearish. Neutral in the intermediate term, bearish in the near term. 655 is the primary focus. I thought we had a speech from Powell today. Yes, that is on the schedule at 12:20 p.m. So let's keep an eye out for that. Let's take a look at this overnight extended hours trading session volume. Point of control is 650, so it aligns nicely with our level of interest. Prior day low is 724. VWAP is way up there as well. Of course, you have some overnight structure in that area too. No real surprise there. 800 is significant. 24,800. And about 2.5 minutes till the open. So pretty straightforward. 655 is the primary watch. It's gonna set the stage for this morning. What's up, Dave? I saw all those trades you were hammering yesterday. Nicely done. Good, sir. So you have ES near the 66.25 level of interest this morning. If you like to trade ES, keep an eye on that. And we're going to be looking at a pretty Pretty sizable gap lower here. So gap rules definitely will apply. Yesterday, of course, was an inside day, gapping outside of the prior day's range. We have about 1 minute till the open. Okay, here comes our open. There was the opening print right at, what is that, 638? 638.75. Good volume right off the open. Good to see. Yeah, Gabe, that's always a great call. Anytime volatility expands, drop size. Drop size. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. The structures get larger. Got to drop size. Got to drop size. Otherwise, they're just going to get blown out. Because the setups will be there. It's just that the risk point is going to be much wider. It doesn't mean you can't take the trade. It just means you need to account for the risk. That's how I see it anyway. That is how I view it. Glad to hear that's helping you, Gabe. Rewards are wider too. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's part of it. That's what makes Project X so good. Those lockout features for certain instruments, contract limits. It's a good tool. Really good tool. NASDAQ fresh lows. Weekly open is 24,542 as a reference point, and then your overnight low 502. Look at that gap. Opening 5-minute bar closing in a couple seconds. Here's the Sunday night open, weekly open, 542. And your overnight low coming up 502.5, 24, 502.5. Good volume. There it is. There's your overnight low. Beneath that, you've got the 450 level of interest. So far, there's a gap and go morning. Gap lower outside of yesterday's inside day and just flush it. Almost 200 points. Little bounce from that overnight low area so far, 450 area. Let's see, was that maybe the 38% fib? Just eyeballing it? Yeah, just shy. Just shy. So I want to see how this intraday structure is going to build out now. Right in this area. NASDAQ fresh lows. Get rid of that fib. Typical pre 10 a.m. directional move showing continuation. Volume's really good this morning. Unsurprisingly, with the volatility, right? Gold up through a prior day high. If you like the GC trade. So Gabe, like we talked about yesterday, beneath that weekly open, and especially beneath 450, see if that gap gets filled. Still is quite a bit lower, but just about halfway there from the open this morning. ES down through overnight low. Benny, you catch the opening drive or what? Opening drive and overnight low reject. Nice. Gabe down here at 188. That's if you're going with Friday's close. Some are probably going to be looking at the RTH closure on Friday, which is right through here. Till this 5-minute bar closes. So again, just watching intraday structure. We have a pretty significant lower high right through here at 530. But you may start seeing a shift here if buyers can reclaim overnight low. So far, I've tried out two pretty aggressive scalps here. 450 reversal, which trailed out. That was truly just a scalp, about 20 points right there, and then we got back in right away. Looking for what could be a higher low versus my level at 450. Trail's already in profit. I don't like to overstay my welcome in the opening 30 minutes, kind of fighting the primary move. So we keep a tight leash on these ideas. I did like the bounce spot. 450 is the level, and then that is also Friday's regular close, like we just talked about a couple minutes ago. So it's a decent area for it. See if we get the continuation here. Really looking for up through 530 into that, back into the Sunday open at 540. Probably have the 50 or 61% fib right in that area as well. Just eyeballing it. Let's take a look. Yeah, 50% fibs right there at 530. And there's a trail. So 2 20-point scalps. Looking for a little more there, but again, like I said, not gonna overstay my welcome on a trade like that. We'll wait till 10 a.m. In the meantime, just getting some trades logged, get the journaling done. And there's another rejection at overnight low. So pretty much case in point. Well, I don't want to overstay my welcome on any longs this early. There we go. That's looking better. Up through overnight low. RTY's up into session highs. You got ES holding on to overnight low as well. There's 530. So intraday change in character underway. NQ into the 50% fib. .61% fib. And 5 minutes till 10 a.m. So there's that move I was looking for. I wanted to see it more immediately. No re-entry on my end. There were 40 points on the morning, 2 for 2 in the personal. See what's next. See what's next. Am I already in? Scroll back. Scroll back. Just went over it. Just went over it. Yeah, it's a big tail on that 30. It's like ES is about to mark a session high. And Q all the way up into the 78% retrace for the intraday move. As we get into 10 a.m. here. No data at 10 a.m. ES, few ticks shy of a new high of day over there. So post 10 a.m. little consolidation here. Volume's kind of tapered down. How we doing? How's everyone's morning so far? I know for Benny, it's a great morning. Alan Green, Benny, personal green win for an op in the prop. Love it. Love that approach. The buyers will be targeting session highs here, 655. That's the level we mentioned coming into the morning. It's the main focus. So that area definitely stays on watch. Volatility continues. We've got a 200-point move lower off the open, almost a 200-point bounce here. Wasn't too long ago, the market would just stay in a 40-point range for the first 30 minutes. Kevin Green, Dean Small Red, all good. All good. Size down. It's important. When volatility goes up, size has to go down. I'm not seeing a re-entry that I really loved. I tried to get a position right in this area, but I was a little too slow, so I just let that one go. Little BB plus re-entry right there. But so far this morning, it's still just chilling. Got the 2 for 2 down near the lows, the 450 longs. Not enough conviction pre 10 a.m. to hold on to that thing. Gabe Green, nice. Love it. Session volume point of control right here at 606. GC, a nice little higher low there at prior day high. I got to start keeping a closer eye on that gold. Just reference points on GC. Yeah, I'm good with that. I mean, look at that prior day high. The PDH. NQ slowing down a bit, just consolidating here near the 600, 600. All right, here we go. NQ coming into session highs. You got VWAP right in this area in the 655 level of interest. I'm looking for a clean break above 655. That for me would be best case scenario. I like action above 655. Like we talked about before the bell. So far, NQ, big reject at 25K, retest at 450, filled the regular trading hours gap from Friday afternoon to Monday morning. NQ, just a few points shy of session highs now. ES on its own, pressing the session highs, getting up into 6650 level of interest. Pretty nice bounce there in ES. NQ definitely lagging. Patience right now. Patience is key. 655 primary watch. We can see volume definitely tapering down a bit, at least compared to the first half hour this morning. Here we go. Here's new high of day. I'm looking for action above 655. Personal preference based on higher time frames. Upside reference point is going to be your prior day low, 724. Prior day high, there's quite a few levels between here and prior day high. Wouldn't rule anything out in the volatility, but prior day low next up, then into 800. Question is, can you find an entry? Do you have an entry? Analysis is one thing. Entry is another. You got in at 580. Let's see, probably right through here, I would imagine. Yeah, I can't take an entry like that personally, but I see the structure based play. And here's prior day low. Incoming 724.5. Yes, sir, Mario. No FOMO. If there wasn't an entry, it's not our trade. So we wait. We wait. We wait. There's prior day low. About a point shy of prior day low. ES as well. Gabe's going for prior day high. So what is that intraday? 300-point move intraday. It's like a full ATR move almost off the lows. See what our current ATR is. Current ATR is 382. I think that's a 14-day look back. But if you include the overnight session, there's already a 623 point day, which is pretty wild. One hour into the morning, 10:30 a.m. Another retest of prior day low on NQ. Small green, Chad. Nice work, man. Take care. There's your fresh high, NASDAQ. ES as well. Just the shallowest of pullbacks right there. Wanted to see, like we've been talking about, 655. Did not come. Serb, thanks for tuning in, man. That's great to hear. That's what this stream is all about. Real life trading, education. Can be a bit boring at times, but the goal is to help people improve. And profitable trading, honestly, is it's going to get boring. If it's not boring yet, it's probably going to get that way. What time frame am I on? It's on the chart right there. It's a 1 minute. There's a watermark right in the middle of the chart, and then tells you up here what time frame as well. Mario, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's great to hear, especially from you. Especially from you. The thing with my own patience is I've just taken so many losses on trades that I knew I shouldn't have been in, but the FOMO got to me, or you get those thoughts like just this once, or this could work, or I missed my main entry, but I'll take this secondary entry, and it's like no. No, 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 no. Not worth it. It's never worth it. And then the problem with the market is that sometimes it's going to reward you for that behavior. Like you get paid. You're like you chase, you get paid, and now you've just basically trained your brain that what you did was good. And that is actually the worst because you're going to build a habit of chasing, and to rework that habit, it's not just like one morning you wake up and say, I'm not going to do this anymore. That's not how it works. It's going to be weeks of conscious thought trying to rework that habit pattern. So now I'll just, if it means I have a lighter day, less profits, but I followed my process, I respected my rules, then to me that's the big win, because I know long term that's really gonna keep me afloat. That's gonna keep me alive. That's gonna keep me in the game. I'm gonna keep my seat at the table. I'm gonna be less stressed out. I'm gonna be less pissed off at the end of the day doing my review. And there's more mental peace in that. So that's where I'd rather be. It's not super exciting. Like a lot of these other streams are all excitement and fireworks and 200-point trades, and that's good for them. But I'm trading a personal account as my primary living and source of income. So just got to keep it disciplined, got to keep it real. Yeah, we're here to make money. Exactly. Exactly. So NASDAQ just pretty tight consolidation here the past 5-6 minutes near the prior day low. I'm noticing how the volume it's gotten considerably lower, even below average for this time of day. So my relative volume tool, I believe it's set to a 5-day look back for same time of day. So this line here is not a moving average. May look like a moving average, but it's not a moving average. That's showing 5-day historical average at this time of day. Very slight new high of day right there on NQ. Yeah, that may have been the pullback there, sadly. Back into 700 and it just gets absorbed again. This is pretty much what I call a lockout rally. Like the pullbacks are just extremely shallow. I was looking through this area and I actually attempted to entry there near 540. Actually, it's more like 560 versus the weekly open. But I was like 2 seconds too slow and the order did not get filled. So I can't enter anywhere above this because I at least need some reference point to get involved at the very, very least. Yeah, VWAP with 655 right there. I like it. I like the idea. Looking at ES, that same shallow pullback came into a level of interest, 66.50 just about. But again, it's so shallow. It's like, man, I want a little more depth. Gotta love those technicals. Yeah. Gotta love it. The power of horizontal lines. It's incredible. I'll probably give it 10 more minutes here for the stream. We had the entries down near 450. I did not have the conviction to hold. So treated those as very aggressive setups with very, very tight trails. You can see if I just had like another minute of patience, would have caught that 100-point ripper. And that's really what I was looking for. Like if I take an aggressive entry like that, I want price to leave my entry point immediately and in a big way. Otherwise, I'm not going to sit there. I'm not going to sit there. I don't have that much conviction in the trade. But it is what it is. That's real life trading for you. So that was it for the personal. It's like 40 points on the morning. Little uptick in volume here on NASDAQ. Headed out, Gabe. All right, nice work, man. We'll see you in the think tank. And Q getting into 655. So I'm watching that area, like I mentioned. 5 minutes till 11. So in the next 3 to 4 minutes, I want to see some action versus 655. Otherwise, calling it a morning. There's 11 a.m. Look at this volume. It's like 30% of the average at this time. So for the remainder of the morning, what I'm going to be keeping an eye on, like I mentioned, 655 is definitely primary interest. You have VWAP right through there as well. Kind of aligns with the higher time frame setup that we discussed ahead of the bell. Price so far this morning has retested that 455 area, 450 area, closed the regular trading hours gap from Friday, or excuse me, from Monday into Friday's low. So long as 655 can hold, I'd be looking for 800 and potentially 900. That's the game plan. That's the GP. We do have prior day low right above current price. Just kind of kept a lid on things on this most recent rally. So we'll see how that continues to be treated. I want a little bit more depth here on this pullback. Just did not quite get there, but that's part of it. So we'll call it a day. 2 for 2, about 40 points. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about, but I'm happy with it. I'm happy. Followed my process, respected my rules. That's all I can do day in and day out. Hope you guys had a good morning. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank here. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow morning. We'll be live 9:30 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thanks for your time.